Yes.
Did you forget to smile and to love somebody, and you just changed more or less everything? You became more rhythmic, more electronic.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I've always been such a purist about like my music, and for many albums, I only used real instruments, and but for this one, after making the covers record, which was such a wonderful experience, I just kind of felt like I wanted to keep that sort of new feeling going with my own songs, and before I entered into arranging the record and stuff with Jürgen, I already knew in my mind that I wanted it to be a little different. Yeah.
But for James Bond, you came late as well. So, with Skyfall.
Well, it's Skyline, isn't it? But yeah.
Was it? There was no James Bond intended, was it?
Definitely not. Absolutely no connection at all. Yeah.
You don't like James Bond?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, it definitely wasn't an influence. Yeah.
So, what would you say is the main influence on this album, as it compared to all the other albums
you mean as
you
a
did?
concept? I mean,
Yeah.
you mean the kind of what it's about?
Yeah, because compared to the albums you did before, let's forget about the cover album, but even the ones before, it's a new Scott Matthew. It's not.
I think it's new in sound. I don't know if it's new in content, though, lyrically, or like the emotional intent is still pretty much the same, but I think arrangement-wise is where it really differs. And not hugely, but it's definitely an evolution. I think it's slightly different to what we've done before, in the way that like we use a lot more electric guitar and electric generated sounds. As well as, keeping what I usually use, the real piano and the real strings and the guitars, acoustic guitars as well.
But what made you do that?
I think just to try it.
Just to try? Was just the fun of doing it? Or?
Yeah. Like I said, I'd sort of already made my mind up that this album was going to go in that direction. I didn't quite know how far I'd take it, but then with the help of Jürgen, my friend who produced the album, then we found a nice sort of like middle ground between the two worlds.
When you had the chance of deciding which world you would like much better, now after this new album is finished, I know you wouldn't say the new way is not my way really, and I would go back because that's nonsense. But deep in your heart, are you more on the new side or on the old side?
Well,
sound technically.
I think it's all me. It's just different shades of me, I don't feel like there's a definition between the new and the old that's like completely separated. But for now, I mean, I'm really, really proud of this album because it had sort of explored a few new territories with soundscape. And so I'm kind of liking the new stuff right now. I'm really loving it, yeah.
When you started doing this new album, the lyrics on One Way, of course, as you said, they're not that much different from the ones you did before, your own lyrics. At the beginning, was it from the first moment on clear to you that you were doing more electrical album?
Yeah, I think so. Though that didn't really influence what I wrote. Because I write either on a ukulele or an acoustic guitar, and I suppose my job in that embryonic stage is just to write a good song in that form that I'm happy with, without kind of really visualizing what it will become, because I think that might kind of influence me in a negative way when I write.
How do you start writing songs?
Very spontaneously, and I don't really know.
You wake up at night? Scribble down some notes you just dreamed of?
No, not particularly. I don't really have a method, or I don't have, one particular way. And I've said this before, even earlier today I told someone this, that like I can't quite remember how I do it. It's a bit odd. I know, it sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. I kind of have no sense memory of how it really happens. And it happens pretty spontaneously.
So you walk in the park and...
Yeah, it's kind of like, I've had my morning coffee and then, maybe I'll just like randomly pick up the guitar one day and then it'll just sort of happen. Obviously sometimes there's something distinctive has happened in my life that has inspired me to want to write. But sometimes it's just sort of random and spontaneous and for no reason at all, really.
It's not a real work, though. I mean, as you said, you do it spontaneously.
It's not work.
So you don't sit down as some writers do from 9 to 5 and say,
no,
today I have to do 10 pages and...
No, and sometimes I wish that I were that, I'm pretty lazy by nature. But also I've had no musical training. So I can't kind of rely on that technical sort of skill or that analytical mind when it comes to music. I just literally make it up. So I don't rely on a method of analysis to write.
What makes you write?
Well, I discovered when I first started writing songs that it was a wonderful way to distill my emotions and make sense of them. So I could, distill what was seeming illogical or not making sense into a song, and then it made sense. And in a way, it kind of like I exercised it. I got rid of it out of my body in a way, and then it was easier to kind of deal with that stuff.
Would you say that in some ways you're more like the romantic poets who sit down and think about and feel about, I wouldn't say nature or things, but just about some things, about Caroline or whoever it might be, or
right.
about, and then it strucks up?
Definitely. I mean, I do consider myself somewhat of a romantic, and the romantic nature of my subject matter is definitely, So it is about pondering sometimes, I think. Yeah.
So Scott Matthew is the Lord Byron of the 21st century.
I wouldn't go that far. Though I probably drink as much as he did.
But you don't take cocaine, do you?
No, absolutely not.
Because that's what he did too.
He did. He did many things, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
But I mean, that's the amazing thing with people that can still be dysfunctional on that level, but function in a whole other way and continue to create. I'm always amazed at that.
Well, you're vegetarian? You're still vegetarian?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But not vegan?
I'm not vegan at all, no. I don't know if I could do that. But, my choice to become vegetarian was a very personal one, and it's not a philosophy or a requisite for me to like you, or I don't judge people that aren't, but it's my own personal little sort of like thing that I chose, and I feel good about it.
I still wonder what really singer-songwriters, and I would say you're a singer-songwriter in a way.
Yeah, me too.
What makes them run? As you have to produce new words all the time, because if you got a contract with a company, with a record company, you have to do in a special way every 2 years a new record, something like that. So you have to come up with at least 11, 12 songs every 24 months. That means one song every 2 months.
Yeah.
At least.
And in a way, I hate to say it because I don't know if I totally mean this, but in a way it is your job to do that. Once you have kind of, if you want to continue doing it, and which I do, but I did have to, once I started making records, I had to totally change. It changed my way of writing songs, the way that I wrote songs, because I felt I had to. And it was a bit disabling, actually. And I remember writing songs just for that no one would hear, there was no intention behind it other than just wanting to do it. But of course, when you start to make records, you're suddenly aware that people are going to hear this, and this is something that will be released. And, but, I just try not to think about that as much as possible and just get into the purity of that moment, I think.
Does it make you proud that people are listening to your songs?
Of course it does. Yeah, I mean, it surprises me continuously. And obviously not that I'm hugely famous, but the fact that I can make a very small living and tour, and now this is my 5th album. Yeah, I had to think about that.
2003
I would
was
never
the first,
have thought, and it's something that makes me feel really good about myself. Yeah.
Other times now, as you do it about 10 years now, no, 12 years, I think. Yeah. 2003 was the first album.
Right. Was it? No, it was a bit later. No, 2006 maybe.
3. I think 3. Well, it doesn't matter. About 10 years. About 10 years. Are there already moments where you say, "Oh fuck, why did I start all this"?
No, quite the opposite actually. Like, I'm so glad that I started all of this, because I'm just not very good at life in many ways, and I don't really have many skills, and this is about all I can do in my own small way, and so I'm really, really always super thankful that I get to do this.
Do you want to change the world?
Wow. I suppose that's too big for me to take on that, but I would like to make a difference in some people's lives, I suppose.
A little bit better for some people?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's where my pride comes, because when I was a kid, I'd listen to music, and that was the one way that I could find solace, and I could find connection, and I could find understanding when I didn't have it and I didn't understand what I was feeling. That, songs explained a lot for me, and I hope I can do that for others.
If you had to go on a very lonely island, which 3 musicians you would take along to listen to, except your guitar or your ukulele?
Oh, you mean what kind of... I suppose I
didn't ask for the record, but what 3 musicians would you like to visit you, let's say it that way?
Well, I mean, I've found a true collaborator in my friend Jürgen, so can I choose him? Okay. Would you come? Okay. I mean, my favorite instrumentation, I play guitar and ukulele, but the first instrument I learned was acoustic guitar. I'm a huge fan of the cello. I just adore it, and will continue to use it forever, I think. And I suppose, I don't know, maybe the piano is...
And musician-wise, okay, we have Jörg and 2 others.
Oh, you mean name musicians?
Yes.
Wow.
The cellist. Soul Gabetta.
Well, I'm kind of lucky that, like, with the music that I have made, that all the people that work with me are my friends. So I'd choose my friends, obviously, to come. I mean, this tour, my friend Gary's coming with us to play piano, and our friend Sam, that's toured with us, is playing cello, and so I'd choose my mates. That's kind of how I do music.
Could you survive on a lonely island?
I'm isolated a lot in my life anyway, so I probably could, without a lot of problem, if I had food and stuff. But maybe. This winter I had a very isolated winter, and strangely really enjoyed it. It wasn't a huge problem for me.
Was there a big outcome of songs for that?
No, I just finished the record, so I sort of felt like I was at liberty to not have to do that. But having said that, I did write a song for my father for his 70th birthday. And so that was the one thing I did create.
With all that business around you, with the new record, with a record release party coming up on Monday and a tour starting later on, and of course all this promotion thing beforehand and in between, are you fed up with promotion?
No. No. I don't get tired of it, only because I'm sort of an age where I'm just super thankful that anyone cares. I mean, if people want to take the time and the energy to know about what I'm doing, I'm always really thankful. So no, I don't get fed up with it at all.
What is the question everybody has asked you, or the question which was most asked of you?
They all want to know why I'm so sad. And I'm not, which is the irony. I mean, obviously I feel sadness, obviously. I mean, I write those songs and that's my truth in that moment, but I don't live in that moment. In fact, I'm pretty happy a lot of the time.
Is that because you write so sad songs?
Yeah, I don't know. I've stopped analyzing it, really. I just kind of do it. But I don't live in that place. I love to laugh. I love to be silly. And
I know.
but when it comes to writing songs, I get quite melancholy, and I always go to that place, and I always have, and I don't quite know why, but I just do it.
Could we say that maybe writing these songs just keeps you away from the shrink?
Definitely. I mean, sure. I mean, there's times when I definitely think I should go see a shrink, but I think it's completely been it's been therapeutic.
Self-therapeutic.
It is, and it's also because it's public. I mean, that helps. It's sort of like it validates your feelings in a way.
So it means every concert is a visit to the shrink.
Absolutely. No, it is. For sure.
You're lucky in a way, aren't you? You have
pretty lucky.
You were the one who gets the money while going to the shrink and not the other way around.
Yeah, I worked that one out. That's one thing that I did work out in life.
Would it ever come to your mind to write a really happy, loving song like Pharrell Williams?
Well, I like listening to that stuff. And, I mean, I wouldn't say that I never would do that, but I can't quite imagine it, but you never know, you know? I mean, I have tried to write happy songs in the past, and then what's ended up happening is like the lyrics become still melancholy, but the sound of the song is sort of happy. So that's my compromise, I think.
Actually, I can't think of any question anymore, so I'd say thanks a lot for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talking about happiness. No other question. Also viel lauter spiele ich jetzt nicht.
Just do a little singing so I can see what
Yeah,
what happens.
of course, sorry. Here we go again. You blindly rid me of your kisses. I'm left to pick up any pieces that haven't broken. Now you're gone. Since it never feels the same. A lover has estranged from a lover. Oh. I forgot the intro.
Oh, right, yeah. No, it's like...
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Okay, sorry.
I won't write a song to tell the world that you're gone, to tell the world of all your wrongs. And I won't pen a rhyme justify this wasted time, to immortalize this great demise. No, not this time. There ain't nothing sweet in this here defeat, to inspire a melody to repeat. And you joked you'd get the best of from me, so very wrong. You won't even get a song. Song so you can show all your friends I wasn't the one. The thought that you might just sing along, it's just sick and wrong. There's nothing more to be said, no sensitive lines to honor the dead. How you were terrible in bed. There's no more to be said. So I've tried again, but this time's not the same. You won't know my pain in a gentle refrain. And you joke you'd get the best of from me, so very wrong. You won't even get a song.